Hello, hi beautiful people. So today is just a very chill day. I didn't really do much. I had a lot of work, but it's not any different from like what I normally do. Overall, it was just like a really good day, and um, I recently started this new like entrepreneurship thing, and it's actually like selling on Amazon because I've just heard like so many advertisements about it, and I'm like, you know what? It's millennials, and technically I'm actually Gen Z. Yay, being born in '96. But yeah, so I recently decided to do this, and it was honestly a really big step for me just because um, I had to put in quite a bit of money into it. And it may not necessarily be a lot of money to other people, but as a girl who recently started university, it was a lot of money for me. And it was just, taking that leap because, you know, your money has to work for you. So, yeah. Anyway, so I've been doing this, and it was definitely frustrating to start because even something as simple as verifying my Amazon account was like incredibly frustrating for no reason, and I couldn't get it to work at all. I literally sent in various variations of my ID and my credit card statements, and they kept saying like, "Oh, we couldn't verify this," and I felt like every single time that they said that, the more upset that I got. Like, it was just mad. And I felt like the last time I was just kind of like, you know what, man, like, if it's not working, then like fuck it. I just like screwed up really badly. But then, I just really felt like I needed to take a step back and just really trust that God was going to help me and was going to like lead me to where I'm supposed to be, and that's really hard for me. And this is something that I've been working on in terms of being able to like fully let go. I'm not super type A, but in things that I really care about and in things that involve things that as human beings we really want to cling on to, and that could be like money, property, love, relationships. Like, it's very easy to not let go as much as you should be. And yeah, so I felt like, okay, I just need to take a step back, and I just had this feeling like everything was gonna be okay and everything was gonna be fine. And the sun was kind of off today. I legit did not see the sun at all today. It's just been like darkness. I feel like I'm back in London, and yeah. But that was a side note. But yeah, I really tried to go on a walk even though it looked awful outside, and to distract myself, and to just do other things that I genuinely enjoy to do. And I really try to remember and try to be like, hey God, like, I know that you're on the throne, and I know that you have the best things for me, and I'm just gonna give it to you. And so yeah, and I just came back with hanging out with my friend. I have a friend who's living in the country. She's going back to Spain, and so it was really good to say goodbye, and it was really cool. And I was coming back on the train, and I just browsed my mail like I normally do, and I saw that my Seller account was verified, finally, finally, and it was like at that breaking point. It was at the point where I was like, yo, like I can't control this anymore. Like I need to just let this go, and if not, then like, meh, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's normally like almost like at that breaking point. But the thing is that when we're at that point, that's normally when we actually let go. And I felt like after that, I just really felt God and His presence, and it's really nice to feel that, because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I just really want to get into the Bible, and it's great, and other times I don't feel like it. And it was just really nice, like so nice. And I came home. I just came home like 20 minutes ago. So this video is very, very spontaneous. It was just a very spontaneous video. Um, but yeah, and I just really felt like I needed to read the Bible, and actually like this particular passage has been open for a while, and I was reading it before, but I wasn't really inspired by it. But I just really felt the pull to read it, and this has been open to the part where essentially Jesus is about to be crucified, which is obviously like very sad, and it's like John chapter 16. That's essentially what I read, and it's talking about the work of the Holy Spirit, and Jesus was talking about how he has to leave for the Holy Spirit to come into us. And it was just like a good reminder that like everything is happening for a reason, and that even things that seem like it's happening against you, it could be like making a new way for something else to come in. Like with every end there is a new beginning. And it's just the ending is masking what the beginning really is. And it was just like a really good reminder. And there were a couple, I think it was like that, actually like 3 verses that I highlighted when I was going through it. And one of them was verse 22, and it said, "So with you, now is your time of grief, but I will see you again, and you will rejoice, and no one will take away your joy." And this was Jesus talking to the disciples, and he was essentially like, bro, like this is gonna suck, like this will hurt. I'm leaving, and you will be persecuted, and like life sucks sometimes, and that's just how it is. But know that in the end, like you will rejoice, and no one will take away your joy. And I think it's just like a really good reminder of the promise that God has given to us, that it doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter, like what the circumstances, and it doesn't matter what people are doing to you, or it doesn't matter even how you feel about yourself. Know that in the end, like everything will be perfect, and no one will take away that joy from you. And it's just a lot, and I feel like this was perfect. This was just like the perfect thing that I needed, because even now when I came home, I was like, oh my God. It was just like that first moment of like, oh my God, yes, thank God. Like the first step of getting my account like verified, yes, and then I move on to the next one, like listing the products. But then it's like, oh, like I have to like do this GTIN, if I have to pay like $300 extra, and like I already started to feel like all this heaviness back again, in terms of, oh my God, there's this other paperwork I'm going to have to figure out, and like who knows how long it's gonna take, and like, oh, like it was just like the same thing, and it was just like the same cycle of like feeling like I have to go back into figuring things out for myself. And this was just like that reminder, like this can, it can be like it can be annoying, even something as simple as this, or as it's not like I'm having like a terminal illness or anything like that, but it's still annoying. But in the end, like everything always works out. And like just like reading ahead onto it's like the second part of verse 31, and Jesus was also talking about how in the end the disciples will leave him alone. He says, "You will leave me all alone, yet I am not alone, for my Father is with me." And that's just like a really good reminder, like in terms of whatever we're going through, in the most annoying things, like God is always with you. Even when you feel alone, even when you feel like nothing is working out, God is always with you. And at verse 33, which is the last verse, it says, "I have told you these things so that you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world." And I've heard this verse a lot, like a lot. But I haven't. Well, no, I don't think I've ever actually like found this verse by myself and read it by myself. So I don't know. It was just so special to have this as something that ministered to me. And I'm not saying I'm like this pastor person, and but it was just really nice, and I felt like maybe there's someone else who really needs to hear this, like everything is working out. Obviously, like what I went through, I am like 100% sure that even though this is like my first real step into like entrepreneurship, like everything will be fine, no matter how weird it gets or crazy, and I'm sure it's gonna be okay, But yeah, I hope this is beneficial to the people who end up watching this. But yeah, this is great. This is like real gold right here, Yeah, cool. Okay, so thank you guys so much for listening, and let me know what you think. Have you had issues like this, and like how do you get connected, and also how do you push yourself to like keep feeling connected to God, and to keep reading the word, and to keep being inspired, no matter what goes on, because sometimes I really want to be like, and yeah, I'm really, really eager to hear what you have to say, and thank you, and I hope to talk to you later. Okay, bye guys.